What's up, fellas? Today I'm gonna be talking about Kingdom Rush Onslaught meta and how to win every single game you play. To be honest, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to crack this game mode. So let's briefly talk about the most important things. What are the differences between this mod and the Onslaught? Oh, excuse me, the Onslaught and the ranked mode. Well, the main difference is that in order to win, you still need to take down hearts from your enemy, and in Onslaught, you can do it by killing your wave faster than your opponent does. You pretty much know that if you've played the mode. And it's a lot easier to do because of the balance, because of the enemy stats, your stats, and how they compare. It's a lot easier to do than it is in ranked. And it's basically a lot easier than to make up a push, level up your boosters, make up some other crazy strategy, kill a boss. In this mode specifically, it's a lot easier to just clear the wave sooner. It takes like 5 seconds longer for your opponent. If your opponent takes like 5 seconds longer to kill your wave, their wave, excuse me, then you score a hard. You do this 3 times and you win. This is honestly really easy to do, and I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna put up some gameplay. You could probably see it by now, and yeah. So before you even get into the mode, what are the things you need to get done to secure your victory? First of all, of course, you need to make up a good deck. So let's talk about the heroes. Gonna reset this, gonna reset this and this. Let's talk about the heroes because it's really the easiest thing to make out. These are the heroes. Oh shit, I don't have bear set here. Let me get back to you in a moment. There he is. Got him. Probably like this. Gonna delete this one. Sorry I didn't prepare for this because, well, it's gonna be very quickly done. I guess I'll put it like this. The aura doesn't really matter. The way it plays out is heroes with the highest damage, which are the top 3 heroes you can see right here. Illura, Ice Cold, and Versad. They're gonna be your main choices. You can honestly choose either of them. They all have their benefits. For instance, Bearsat obviously has the best economy. Well, he has an ability to help him out with that, unlike those two. Those have a lot more control over the enemies, but I don't think it's as useful as it's in ranked with a lot stronger enemies, because, well, you just don't need that much time to kill them. They're still really good, do a lot of damage. And Illura is an obvious sleeper pick. Well, I guess a sleeper pick cannot be obvious. Nonetheless, unless you don't have none of the dragons, Illura is your best options. In fact, I could argue that Illura is the best among all the options, simply for the reason she does a lot of damage. She's, well, ranged just like all of those dudes, but she doesn't block, so you don't really get hit in any situation that you wouldn't be hit with the dragons. And the main thing is her control. I guess the main benefit to Illura is the control a player has over the hero. So like with Ice Cold or Bearsad, they move very slow. So even if you somehow figured out that your cooldowns came up, you want to waste them, you want to use them on a different lane, it takes a lot of time to move there. For instance, with Bearsad Fear or his Golem or whatever. And you cannot waste a second in this mode if you want to win fast and if you want to win guaranteed. You don't want to waste a second. Therefore, I think Illura's speed is her main benefit. And the ease of use. It's very easy to dump her spells the way you want to. Meaning, let's say, I know you wait by one of the exits, or rather entrances, right? By one of the portals. Enemies come up, you one-shot them, you two-shot them, you use your ice field, her ice mist or whatever to slow them. You instantly move up to the other lane, you use your spikes down there, you kill a couple enemies there, the slow on the other lane dissipates, you come down there, you get to focus a ranged enemy, a flying enemy that are constantly coming your way. So she's very easy to use, where Ice Cold and Bearset, it's not about the skill, honestly. Well, they're just slow. You can do nothing about it. They're just slow. You can play around with where you wanna have your choke points, but obviously, like, I'm gonna say this a lot in this video, that the more damage you do, the faster you do it, the sooner you start doing it, it's for the better. So all of your towers should be as close to the entrances as possible. Please do not put them near the exit. Please don't do that. It makes zero sense to do that. Put all your towers and your heroes as close to the portals, so they could start hitting enemies as soon as they appear. I would go with Laura. You can do fine with either of them, either of the dragons. They're all of equal level, so it shouldn't matter. Ashbite is just the worst of the dragons. He doesn't have any special abilities. The only thing I see him, so the only reason to using Ashbite is, I think, his last ability, Rain of Fire or whatever, where you attack the enemy units and fuck them up. Heroes are really important in the current meta. In the current meta in general, and in this mode specifically. They're really important. So there are basically two strategies. Gonna mention it now. There are basically two strategies to winning in Onslaught. One is killing the wave as soon as possible. Two is building up marksman tower as soon as possible and while killing your opponent. That's it. It's map dependent and shit. It's unit dependent, but nah, let's talk about it later. So Ashbite is gonna be the one to use in this strategy, even though I see people use Bearset instead, because he's just better in every way. As far as other heroes goes, if you don't have any of those, because I get it, those are legendary heroes and epic heroes, you might not have them. I don't know, man, you're just fucked. How are you gonna win with, I don't know, the second best ground unit being Diedre against Laura? I don't know, man. How are you? I don't know. But if I were to use anything instead of those, I'd use Diedre or Vesper. Vesper sucks, but at least he's ranged and deals with flying enemies, and he's fast. Diedre is not fast, but he's ranged, deals with flying enemies, and still has the most broken ability in the game, and kind of counters the Bearset and the Bearset marksman tower tactic with her shield and shit. But you definitely want to get some of those heroes to win an Onslaught. Let's talk briefly about the spells. So how would I use them? Poly, Curse, Rain of Fire, Thunderbolt, and Stun. Everything else is completely irrelevant. You don't need anything else. So if the map has like a Trollblazer in it, you probably could use like Curse instead of Poly. But they also have Yetis there, and the other most dangerous enemy that could come up in that game would be, in that map, would be the Golems, and the Golems can get polyed as well as Yetis, so I think Poly generally brings more value than Curse, but you can use Curse as well. It's actually a really great spell. You can use it in rank as well, but it's not a ranked video. So Poly or Curse, than Rain of Fire or Thunderbolt. I use Rain of Fire because, it has a larger radius, it does a bit more damage, doesn't stun, has a longer cooldown, but doesn't really matter. You can use it in every wave. And as well, it has a passive that boosts artillery tower damage, and I use 2 artilleries in my deck, and I'm going to talk about it. Just bear with me, we're gonna get to this soon. So like Rain of Fire more than I like Thunderbolt. And for your control spell, just go with stun, because, well, teleport sucks, divines suck, reinforcements suck, and the ice field, you just don't need that much coverage. I still think that ice field could be better than stun, especially in ranked, but sure, you're gonna slow them, but you just don't need that much coverage. It has a bit longer of a cooldown, 5 seconds of stun. Actually, it's like more closer to like 4 seconds, considering it's gonna be level 5. So I don't see no reason to use Ice Shield, and it obviously targets flying enemies and shit, so you can lock him under your tower and kill him with your ranged hero. Very simple. You poly, you Rain of Fire, you curse, you Thunderbolt. I don't know, and you stun them, whatever. Just don't poly them when they're stunned, because the poly is gonna override the stun, and they're gonna keep running as sheeps. And well, obviously you can poly when they're you can stun when they're polyed. Okay, so like that. We talked about the heroes. The boosters I'm gonna leave for last. So about the towers, I don't think it's it's not controversial to say that Ice Druid is just the best tower in the game right now. In Onslaught as well. Gonna talk about him in just a moment. The other best tower is gonna be Tesla. Does a lot of damage, deals with flying enemies. You have a lot of gold income in Onslaught because you kill enemies really easy, so you can afford 2 artilleries. If not for Tesla, you can go for Royal Archers. As far as mages go, this one, and as far as bergs go, this one. I think I'm gonna manage this. Don't see the reason, but okay. I'm gonna put them like this, like this, like this, probably like this. What am I gonna do with all that shit? It's not actually that bad. I haven't seen anybody use Battle Mecha, and I haven't used it myself, so I have no opinion on it. I have nothing to say about it. So, what do I have to say about the towers? First of all, Ice Druid, AoE magic damage to deal with your Troll Blazers, with your dogs and shit. What is he countered by? Obviously flying units with whatever armor. He doesn't care because he doesn't attack them, obviously. That's why you have Tesla to cover for him. If any ground magic resistant enemies, you just poly them or you curse them. That's it. And slow is very imba. It's probably his most useful ability, the one that slows around where his attack lands. So you could squeeze in a couple more hits with your other towers when they come through your checkpoints. But obviously the reason you bring them aside of that are his abilities, which are Golem. He summons a very beefy Golem coming down your opponent lane, and he counts as the unit your opponent has to kill to finish the wave. So if you buy it in time, because he comes out from the very beginning, your opponent might be finishing a wave somewhere in the middle or even closer to the exit, and boom, a golem comes up, a second golem comes up. He has to somehow fight through probably like 30,000 health, and you're also finishing your wave, so he's just not going to be able to do the hard for you. And of course his freeze ability is a crazy ability as well. But what you're gonna do if you have 4 towers freeze? what you can do? You can't do nothing about it. So a crazy ability, a core tower in this mode, at least in my deck. There are 2 decks and I'm gonna mention them. I see no reason to use any other artillery over the druid. No reason. But the funny thing is there is no other artillery to use over the druid because he's the only one that does magic damage, right? That's magic damage. Why Tesla and not Royal Archers? Let's talk about the Royal Archers first. They're kind of a secondary option. They became a secondary option for me because, well, the only thing they're good at, they're the best archer tower in the game for the sole reason that they, well, kill flying enemies the best. And when you have those pesky dragons or thunderbirds coming down your way with boss level of health, you definitely need Royal Archers to deal with them. Tesla wouldn't manage. She needs upgrades, she needs some blocking to output the damage. She just wouldn't manage. But in this mode, Tesla is God. Just kills everything that comes her way. Plus, her first ability is her first ability helps her with again damage. Damage is the king of this mode. First ability is damage. The second ability fucks with your opponent's units. Stuns the hero. You stun Allura twice under a troll blazer, and he fucks her up. That's it. That's very useful actually. Plus deals with flying enemies. On the frozen map you have those bats coming down your way, the ones with magic resist. Your mage wouldn't be able to deal with them. Do you really wanna? What you're going to do? If a Yeti comes out, let's say a Yeti comes out, a troll blazer comes out, a couple golems come out. How are Royal Archers dealing with any of those? Sure, they might kill them flying bitches, but after that they focus on a Yeti and the tower is pretty much useless. Yeti has no armor, he just has a fuck ton of health, and they're just not gonna be able to punch through it. So, whatever. If you wanna try Royal Archers, by all means go, but with Bear set, with Allura, if you have a good hero to help Teslas on those first waves when their damage is not that high, you're sad. You're sad, man. You have no reason to use any Arch Tower with a Tesla. Arcane Wither is definitely the best mage still, at least in Onslaught, because he's the only one that does a respectable damage. Let me quickly log into the game so I could check how this dude is named that everybody is trying to use. I just don't respect that. I have no idea why you do that, people. Archmage, of course. Why I don't use Archmage over Arcane Wizard? Because, well, first of all, the damage. He just does way less damage than Arcane Wizard. Way less damage. And why you need mages, and this deck at least, in this mode? Obviously to kill the highest health enemies. Your Troll Blazers, your Yetis. I'm talking about that specifically because, well, the frozen map is in rotation right now. Any fucking healthy, beefy enemy. Arcane Wither just melts them. Of course, he has a death ray, but I'm not gonna argue that like Dissipate, this guy's ability, is worse than death ray, because obviously it affects what I think is up to like 3 units, right? And you essentially get rid of them and move them to your opponent. But it costs gold, man. It costs a lot of gold to get. And before that, Arcane Wizard is just better in every way. You have to put up like 2 mages at most. 2 mages. On your field in Onslaught, of course, depending on the map, depending on whatever, but 2 mages at most. You don't need Archmage for that. Druid summons opponents. Druid deals with summons for your opponent. He gets he buys you time with golems. You don't need to teleport shit to him. You really don't. And again, it's a lot easier to just kill him. Kill the units that come down your way, and it's actually useful. Probably only the first time. that you buy this ability, that you buy Dissipate. Simply for the reason that you're gonna be teleporting the gliders, the bats, the fucking wolves, whatever, but not the yetis, not the golems. You feel me? And there is not that much of enemy variety in Onslaught. Games don't go that far. Don't go for so long. Therefore, you ain't gonna be able to just cramp up the opponent's wave, something he has mathematically no damage to deal with. You're not going to be able to do that. Therefore, Arcane Mage does his only job the best, and I see no need for any other mages. I'm gonna talk about the... Oh, you know what, let's talk about the Necromancer next. Again, see no reason to use him. His only benefit is his ability to summon. Why would you need that if you have golems from your Ice Druid? The skeletons that he summons are very weak. They die to one hit of a hero. What is the reason to use them? I don't know. He does minuscule damage, man. He does minuscule damage. It's embarrassing how little damage he does. This definitely needs to be upgraded. Because what was like, he does 3 times as little damage as the Archmage, as far as I could remember. This is just not respectable enough to even use. But there is a strategy to implement with this guy. I don't know, just spam the shit out of your opponent and they cannot deal with that. But what I'm saying is, you know, I'm gonna put him even lower because of how little damage he does. If your opponent is able to deal with the unit spam, you ain't ever gonna see any impact from this tower. If your opponent isn't able to deal with those fucking skeletons, then probably you'd be fine without using without even using him. Your opponent decks probably suck, or he's just a bad player. So I see no need for Necromancer, but whatever. And let's talk about the best barracks. They do the most damage and they hit the flying enemies. That's it. You don't need anything else from the barracks in Onslaught, I promise you. Just so you here wouldn't waste time coming down if for some weird reason, even though it never happens to me, and the flying enemies get past my hero, get past all my defenses, and they get close to the exit, those dudes are gonna deal with that. That's easy. What do I have to say about the marksman outpost? You know how the shit works, the insta-kill chance, you just... Depends on the map, man, and depends on your luck. That's why I don't respect this tower, this strategy, because if, again, I get Wormadillos, I get Troll Blazer, I get Armored Golems, I get armor. If I get lucky, I get armor and send it down the opponent's lane. The fuck is he gonna do with the Musketeers? Nothing. Bearset wouldn't be able to kill that shit in time, but the best utilization of that strategy is to simply put up like 2 of those, have Bearset deal with the early waves the way he can, easily, or I don't know, Ice Cold, or even Allura. I would use actually Ashby for that one, never mind. And upgrade one of them as quickly as possible, and just bet on the fact that your opponent doesn't put down any armor. You can come around it with Curse and Poly and shit, but still, if your opponent isn't lucky, does get any armor in his boosters, you upgrade the abilities that shoots the opponent down as fast as you can, and you just pray that he didn't have enough gold to put up a great defense in time. And so someone like some dragons, they respawn for what I think like 25 seconds. That's a lot of time actually. A wave can be cleared in that time, but heroes like Laura, brother, it's just 10 seconds. 10 seconds. It's not that big. It's 10 seconds. Dragons respawn twice as long. So I don't know. I wouldn't do that. About Archmage, I've talked about him. Just a worse version of Arcane Mage in this one specifically. I guess those are the epic cards, unless you don't have them. The mage you use is this mage, just the regular mage, because he has the shield. If you manage to survive up to that point, you just shield your opponent's enemies, and it's harder for him to kill them. If you, for some reason, don't have neither of those, or don't have the Tesla, don't want to use Royal Archers, whatever you need, and physical artillery, go with this one. With the Dwarven artillery. Again, how you guessed it, it's for the reason that its second ability stuns opponent's towers. That's it. Dwarf, it does way too little damage. Just not respectable damage at all. You want to upgrade him, fuck the stun, you just kill the enemies. I have no reason to use this guy. Anything else that I probably want to talk about? Nah, man, nothing. This is it. So the best deck would probably look like this. Obviously the one I'm using. You can do it like this too. And I wouldn't do it any other way, because it's gonna diminish the purpose of the deck. Some people do weird shit like that. They do like this. They do shit like this. I wouldn't do that. I have in my like probably like 100 matches, close to that, 90, 100 matches. I've lost, I think, 5 of them. So I know what I'm talking about. Do not use if you're not confident in this strategy. But I guess, hey, I guess you like it. I see no reason to talk about the boosters, because it's really map dependent. You wanna do you wanna get the healthiest enemies in. So this one, I know those dudes. I promise you, I haven't seen Smasher, I haven't seen the Phalanx, that's what I call them. I have not seen a dragon even once. So I don't even know if they appear. Like this, ambushers are really good. Like this, armadillos are really good. Gliders not so good. Those dudes are okay here. The ghost, I don't know, just if you don't have anything else to choose, you can choose the ghost. I don't see this guy ever. I don't see this guy and this guy ever. Smokes. Everything else just fucking sucks. I guess you could choose to go for Blizzard. I don't know. If, let's say, you wouldn't want to choose this shit and, I don't know, this guy or a ghost. You want to choose the flying magic resistant enemy in the ghost over the Blizzard, right? You wouldn't do that if your opponent has already like 2 Royal Archers on the field, right? So this is not ordered, obviously. Just pick whatever has the most health. And the last important thing I'm gonna mention is you want as much enemies coming your opponent's lane as possible. Meaning you want to always choose different boosters. So do not focus on upgrading a single one unless it's best for the specific configuration. So I don't know, if your opponent has 2 Teslas, and I just played the match. Your opponent has 2 Teslas and Royal Archers. He didn't put up a single mage. I probably would upgrade Trollblazer over choosing to send them, I don't know, some ghosts or shit, or magic resist golems. Get it? Just choose as many different boosters as you can, with a lot of health. You probably are looking at the gameplay, the configuration, the tower placements, or rather put them as close to the entrances to the portals as possible. Put your hero there as soon as you can, have him attack as much as you can, and stay safe, and you're good. Use any of the good heroes, use any of the good spells, any configuration, I mean, use any of the good towers. I wouldn't go below A tier if I were you, and you should be easily winning. that's it. That's what I wanted to say. I need to gather my thoughts to talk about the ranked meta. Man, this is different. This is a different world, man, from what we played in beta. But this is it for now. Good luck, lads. Have a great day. Subscribe, share if you care, and bye bye.